Live. Okie dokie.
So is this live on my timeline too, since you tagged me, or
Well,
is
I
it
tried
live
to
on?
tag you, but okay, here we go. It says we're live. Okay, let's get right to it.
Hey,
Okay, so here we're with Joycelynn. Let me come back to Zooms. Okay, so I just thought it would be fun to have you on and to talk about why you decided to join this the Spiritually Wealthy Woman Retreat. So what was it that like pulled you in, or had you wanting to join Joycelynn?
first of all, Lisbeth, your vibe attracts me anyway. You're just, you're awesome. So you're just so energized, and I just love it. But I've been a part of a live Zoom kind of all day retreat before, and it's just phenomenal. The energy flows, and it's great. But I really love this. I really love what you're doing, and I'm a very, I feel like a very spiritual person, and a lot of that comes from my faith. But I also know that I, there's just more for me, and I'm very excited to tap into that because I'm a very spiritual, spirit-filled woman, and I know that however you label it, this is who I am, and I know that everybody knows that, but that's okay because I'm authentically Joycelyn most of the time, and I'm good with that. So
Mm-hmm. Well,
I wanted to explore more to actually reach the depths of my potential.
to reach the depths of my potential. That's so
Yeah.
juicy.
Uh,
Would you say, because it's very easy for you to say that you're a spiritual person, have you ever had a time where you were maybe filtering that part of yourself, or not really honoring or like acknowledging that part of your humanity?
sure. I was uh, actually raised in a denomination that's a very good little group, but until my husband and I went over to a more non-denominational, non-traditional kind of way that we worship, um, I had not tapped into that part of my spirituality, although it's talked about, but I didn't see it manifesting in the way that it was when we changed where we how we worshipped. And so, and I know that this is not a strictly, this is not a faith-based program that you're doing. That just happens to be my point of reference, but there was a difference. And when I really allowed the more spiritual part, when I allowed spirits to be more part of my life, there was an added dimension that I had not experienced, and so I enjoy that and want to tap into that more.
So when you say added dimension, I'm just curious, how does that show up for you, or what does that mean?
Well, it's one thing to say that you believe in these things. It's another thing to experience it and walk it out and invite it into your life to be manifested in your life. It's a little different, a lot
Mhm.
different. If that makes sense.
Oh yes, it does. It's I love that quote that says something about praying is talking to God
Right,
and meditation is listening.
right, right.
Um, I mean, I grew up, going to church, and even as an adult, was very involved with the church that my husband and I went to, and it's the contrast between all of that time and as an adult being at the church and the church, and now like my life now, it's not even, it's like it's not it's a 180. And so I just feel like so many of us have been robbed of mm, this element that you're speaking to, right? It's a different experience when you actually
Yes,
can feel it, live it. And to me, all it is really is having this faith and being able to trust in everything, the process, what's on its way to you, what's already done, and having so much faith that the thing that you desire, that it truly is like it's already done or it's on its way.
It is. Right.
Because the amount of suffering, the amount of money, the amount of time, and the amount of energy that I have spent worrying and not trusting and not allowing and just being the victim. And it's like, how come they don't teach us in first grade?
I don't know. They didn't teach as far as first grade or whatever. I feel like a lot of limitations on myself were bestowed upon myself due to some of my upbringing, which I don't belittle the way I was raised.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of limitations placed on what, say, God expects from us or what He allows from us.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that we put that in a box, and the box is the package that is handed to us, and we're allowed to experience all these things as long as it's in the box. But when you go to take it out of the box or experience things outside of the box that you are used to, all kinds of limitations, you hit your upper limits because your past comes back and like, I don't know if I really deserve that. Is that something I'm deserving of? Is that something I'm allowed to experience or believe for in my life? And it is. And just stepping into that other realm where you don't box it in a box. You don't box all this spirit in a box, and you allow, in my case, and I know some people, say your higher power and things like that. I still maintain my faith very close, but it's in a different box. It basically doesn't have a box, and because the box limits everything. So I don't. That's the best way I have to explain.
I'm a very visual person, so I appreciate this on every level, Joycelyn. It's like, it's the box. Like,
Yeah.
why do we want to limit ourselves when God is all that is? Like, do you think
Yeah.
He wants to put a limit on how you experience Him, or all
Yeah.
that is, or all that you are?
Right.
So,
Right.
oh, I love that expression. Basically, it's like, it's the freedom to fully express your I came up with this idea of energetic signature. You're freely able to express your spiritual signature, the
Right.
way that the essence of who you be, that's connected to
Yeah.
spirit, force, God, however,
Right.
whatever label you want to use. And it's your all knowing, all loving, no
Right.
fear, no ego, no shame, because
Right.
that's what this is about at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. It is about the love.
Yes. Oh
Um,
my gosh. So thank you for sharing your why of why you're coming. And the women that are in this have said yes. Are We have somebody that has agnostic beliefs. We have someone who's on a spiritual journey and she wants to go deeper. We have another woman who is afraid to express her spirituality because, we, again, like, we get put in these little conditioning boxes of, nope, you can't say this, you can't do
right.
that, your people are going to judge. And it's so I am absolutely ecstatic. I actually did an actual real retreat. It was called the Nurse Renewal Retreat. Gosh, this must be 4 years ago now. It was a 2-day retreat. And I just thrive on connecting like minds, like souls, and being in this container of providing permission and connection, which we so desperately need
Right.
right now, and talking candidly about like, how did we get here, and really exploring what are your beliefs around spirituality and money.
Oh
And
yeah, that's that right there. That right there is a box.
right, it's
That
like,
right there is a box because godly people do not go after money. Yeah, they don't.
yeah, so we're going to have this really
It's a
rich
big box.
conversation around, what you grew up learning and how you were
Right.
conditioned and how is that serving you now, and let's look at maybe dismantling some of these that are keeping you in the box so you can live
Yes,
outside the box. Because
that's
my interpretation is, not only are we spiritual beings having a physical experience, we are energetic beings, and
yes,
everything in our existence on Earth School is energy. And that's the same thing about money. All money is energy.
yes, it is. It
It's like,
is. And that's
yeah,
a huge box and a huge limit for so many because yeah, because the love of money is the root of all evil. Don't you know that?
yep. So yes,
So
everybody has a money story, and yeah, I find as a nurse, as a healer, as somebody who's walking this path of, there is no separate, there is no separation. That's an illusion, and that's ego and fear. And that is, if I have more money to do good in the world, well,
right,
of course that's what I'm doing. So
right.
I honor where anybody is on this journey,
I do
because
too.
everybody has their own journey. And um, as a way shower, it's not my job to convince anybody of anything. All I can promise
Yeah.
my ancestors is to share what I know. And it's very different now than in what it was 20 years ago.
Yeah, and I just want to say, it's kind of just running off what you were saying. I hold no judgment to
Yes,
the area that I came from because I love
absolutely.
them. They're great people. I hold no judgment, or I just don't hold judgment. I just know that I'm in a different place,
Mhm.
and I believe we're called to be who we are, and not everybody is called to be in some of these places.
Mhm.
Or so I'm okay that there's still boxes out there, and it is not my job to try to convince someone that there's more than a
Mhm.
box. It is not my job, because I don't draw that. I don't. I just am responsible for answering the call to what I am divinely purposed for. So
Yes. And what
making
are
sure
you,
that
do you want to share? Do you want to share what are you divinely purposed for? Is that okay? You don't have to.
no, that's okay. It is really my passion to help other women break out of that upper limit box and to fully experience who they're called to be. And right now, I'm doing that through wellness coaching, and I'm a new health coach as well. But within that is so much more than someone losing weight.
Mhm.
It is actually helping another individual reach that potential, um, that they're purposed for. And it gives me no greater joy than to feel like that I am fulfilling my purpose. Because if I was once bound, that I'm free, then I can help those women. And I'm not going to say I'm not going to help men. I'm not trying to be sexist here. I'm just saying this is who I'm called for because this is who I am in my experience, in my birth suit, that I was very bound in my thinking. I was very restricted in how I felt about myself. And it's a prison.
Mm.
It is a total prison to be in that place, to be bound. It is.
Wow. That's giving me,
And I want to see women unbound and
ah,
loosed into who they are really called to be. And I find it interesting because I ask women from time to time. I even asked it on my page one time. What would you do? what was it that you really wanted to do as a young person and you didn't do it for whatever reason? And I just got, it went on and on and on, the things that people had wanted to do. And I'm thinking some of that you can still do, you know, some of, why not? You know, okay, so I'm going to go out there and say this crazy one. Okay. On myself, I am about 5'9". I'm very tall. I was very thin. I was model thin when I was young. Model thin. I was like 120 pounds and 5'9". Long
Wow.
hair, but the box
Mhm.
at that time did not really permit me to do that, but I just thought that would be so cool. You know? So my little dream is I am losing. I'm not losing. I'm releasing because it's been a noose around my neck, my weight, and there's so many psychosocial inner reasons for holding on.
Mhm.
And as I let go and release, I was telling my kids today that I saw and at my granddaughter's birthday, and one of my niece, who I consider one of my kids, because I did raise her some when she was younger. So she has another daughter. She's saying, Joyce, you don't need to get down. You don't need to go that far down. And I said, you know, I said, I'm good with that because I'm going to let you in on a little secret because I'm going to go when I get to that point. And I'm going to go to Raleigh and see who wants to hire a senior model. So, you know,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
so I became authentic and I let my hair grow out and I'm going to rock this look.
And you are stunning.
So I'm just really kind of like, yeah, I can still do that. Why can't I still do that? You know? Yeah.
Hey, and let the hallelujah choir say amen.
Yeah. Isn't that great? So, you know, that's in addition to my coaching and things like that. But yeah, that's kind of like, okay, for all you all that are listening right now, okay, yeah, this is my secret coming out of the bag that I'm
Woohoo!
wanting to do that. So yeah, so
Well,
that was one of those things.
I'm excited to witness all of you and all of your glory. And also, by you doing that, you know what's happening, right? Is that
That's
you are,
somebody else free.
yeah, and you're
Yes,
passing the torch and
yes,
you're showing your evidence of what's possible, right?
yes.
And so I want to go back to what you said about there's no judgment. And I'm so glad that you said that because um it seems like in my experience, I too, it's not my place to judge. Like who am I? Like, no, just no.
Right.
I can only judge my own thoughts and actions. And um the reason I am where I am today is because of all the incredible way showing that was shown to me going to church, growing up, and going to Bible school and doing and
Yeah,
listen, I
all the
went to a
all.
private Christian school. Lord have mercy, it just about killed me. But anyway, we did it.
Well,
And
I went to a private Christian college for a while, and
okay,
you be an
yeah.
adult going to a private school. Yeah,
Woo.
the
So
Lord
again,
is
like
fun.
no judgment and
No
like,
judgment. I'm just not there
yeah,
anymore.
it's great for whoever it's good for. It's just not,
Yeah, it
and
is.
so
And
yeah,
I totally
yes,
honor all my friends that are there. I
yes,
love them each, and they're not called to do what I do.
yes,
If they were, they'd be seeking out this little path too. So I'm
yes.
who I am, and they're who they are, and I love them. So
Well, I love you, and this is why I love Spirit so much because Spirit always, all the people in my vortex I have met on the socials, and Spirit literally taps me on the shoulder and says, "Hey, you need to connect with her. You need to connect with her." And so, literally, when you are guided
yeah,
and you allow, and then you actually execute and you follow through, the synergy and the magic that comes on your path, you cannot make this stuff up. How good it
that's
is.
right. Yeah, I'm learning the difference between trying to coach everybody that I can get and coaching those who I'm supposed to coach. It's two totally different things. So I'm no longer desperate to 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 have people like me or connect with me or want to coach with me because I'm not called to coach everyone.
And you know what happens, right? When you surrender, you're basically, that's another way of saying you're surrendering those who
Yes,
are not meant for you. And then all of a sudden you become like a magnet and everyone's
I
like, I
know,
want to work with
I
you.
know, I know. It's
Oh my
great.
God.
It's fun. It's
It's
fun.
so good. Okay. So for those of you who are listening who are like, what is this? Our interest is piqued. Of course, send me some messages on the private socials, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. If you want the details, you can go to my website, elizabethoverton.com. The magic happens this Saturday.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
So, would love to have you join this incredible, really, this is like a movement. I just want to give any woman who's ready to be liberated, to be able to express herself in a spiritual way, whatever that looks like for her, because everybody's
Right.
different.
Everybody's
I want,
different.
yeah, I want to help women cultivate that bat line because it is like magic. So, anything else you want to share before we sign off?
Well, on my timeline, if there's anybody that has any questions, I will direct you toward Lizbeth.
Perfect.
So,
Thank you so much. And I can't wait to be hanging out with you a year from now and to just be like reveling in all that is.
oh
Because,
yeah.
right? Because of all the things we're doing now. And
Huh?
so, yeah, so thank you so much, Joycelynn.
Well,
And
thank
for
you
anybody
for
who's
having me.
watching, if you're watching the replay, this is a situation where I don't feel comfortable looking at comments while I'm trying to connect with another
Right,
human. So
exactly.
we'll get back to your questions. If you have any, put, team replay in the comments if that's what's going on. And wherever you are on this journey, if you're watching this, remember that you have free will and
That's right.
all of your spiritual squad is jonesing to support you in whatever way you're ready to receive.
That's right. That's right.
You just have to ask. So
That's right.
we will sign off with that. And so it is.
All right.
All right.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.